Hello, and welcome to Pride Month. We are reaching the start of June, and with that, it means that some readathons that I've been doing, like Escape the Readathon, are ending, and others are starting. This month, I am going to be participating in 2 readathons. I'm going to be participating in the Amazing Race readathon, and I'm also going to be participating in Tarot readathon. I will link the creators' videos announcing these readathons in the description below so that they can give you more of the details, but I can give you a vague outline. The Amazing Race readathon is based off of The Amazing Race, and this year it is inspired by Doctor Who, which is a favorite show of mine. I'm a big fan, so I'm excited that the first year that I'm participating in this also just so happened to coincide with a theming of something I am a big fan of. And this readathon is run by Bree from the YouTube channel 4 Paws and a Book. So I'm excited to get into this. For this readathon, there are different legs lasting about 3 days each for the individual teams to read books towards that prompt and try to win. The Tarot readathon is run by Noelle from Noelle Sunday and Deja from Deja's Book World. And in this readathon, you are picking books based off of tarot cards. So I actually have a deck with me here. Basically, for each card in the tarot deck, there is a prompt assigned to it. And you shuffle your tarot deck, pick a card, and you read a book for that card's prompt. And you earn points for your team that way. So as sticking with my kind of vibe the past few months, I'm participating in these 2 competitive readathons, which means that I will be prioritizing reading books that will help me and my team advance in them. But also, I have a more personal goal for this month, which is that because it is Pride Month, I want to be reading more books that have LGBTQ plus characters. So I will be attempting to fit those books into the reading prompts, but obviously I won't always succeed in that, so let us see what the month has in store by drawing my tarot cards. But first, we gotta shuffle. And I'm really bad at shuffling. Alright, I have finished shuffling my tarot cards. I decided to spare you the very embarrassing process of me doing the shuffling, but it is now time to start drawing my cards and picking my reads. So I'm going to start by doing my draws. So there are 2 ways that you can do your tarot card prompt reading. There's the standard, which is where you just draw a card straight off the top of the deck. So this would have been 4 of Pentacles, my 4 of Pentacles card. This is just an example, so I'm going to stick it back into my deck somewhere, since I'm not actually drawing it. And I would just draw that single card, and then I would pick a book. The second way to do this is you do a spread. So for this year, there are only 3 card spreads, which there's a couple of different ways to interpret that within tarot readings. The most common is past, present, future, or problem, obstacle, outcome. Those are the two most common ways to read the spread, but there are other ways, I believe. And so you would draw 3 cards from your deck, placing them in the spread in the order that you draw them. So the first card would be past, the second would be present, and the third would be future. And for the spread, each card that you draw has a little bit of a twist to it, and that will give you some perks in the race. So today I'm going to be doing 2 spreads and 3 standard pulls. And so I will be coming out of this with a total of 9 books on my TBR. So let's start with my spread. All right, so the first card I am pulling is the Knight of Swords. I bought this tarot deck a while ago, and I don't quite remember what it's called or who I bought it off of. I got it off of Etsy, so I will see if I can find it in my purchase history. And if I can, I will link it in the description below. The second card is the Page of Swords. I told you I was bad at shuffling, didn't I? Okay. And the third card of the spread is the Nine of Wands. And now my second spread is the Sun, the Knight of Cups. Okay, maybe I'm better at shuffling than I thought I am. This clearly works. And the Seven of Wands. And now for my single pulls, I will be finding books for the Hierophant, the Five of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, and now I have a list of the prompts sitting in front of me. So let us start with my first spread. So for my first card, I drew the Knight of Swords, and the prompt for this is: read a book featuring a mission, quest, or strong objective. And because this is in a spread, I could choose to do an alternative prompt, which is choose a book that matches the card's prompt or has a matching object from the card's imagery on the cover. So I could choose a book that has knight's armor or a sword on it if I so chose. But I actually have the perfect book in mind for this. I sadly can't pull it out because I'm currently using it to prop up my camera, but that book is The Last Contract of Isako by Fonda Lee. This is about an assassin who is ready to retire, but before she can do that, she has one last mission that she needs to complete. So I will be reading that for the Knight of Swords. My next card is the Page of Swords, and the prompt for this is: read a book featuring secrets or investigation. And the alternative prompt is: draw the card from the bottom of the deck and choose between the two for which prompt you want to fulfill. So let me draw that. And that is the Two of Cups. So my Two of Cups prompt is: Read a book that explores partnership or the power of two. I think I'm going to stick with the Page of Swords for this, so I will just slide this into my deck. And I will read... Where is it? I moved my bookshelf around. Ah, there it is. So for the Page of Swords, I'm going to read One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. This is a murder mystery where 5 students were given detention, and one of them ran the school's like big gossip website, and he had dirt on the other 4. And then, yes, hi Abby, hi princess. And then he died, and the other 4 are now prime suspects, and their secrets are coming out and their lives are unraveling. That is One of Us is Lying. And I have had this for a really long time, so I'm looking forward to finally knocking it off my list. And the final card in this spread is the 9 of Wands. Hi. Do you like the 9 of Wands? Ugh. This is Abby. She's a princess and she wants my attention. But I'm sorry, princess. I need to film this and then I can give you all the attention that you want, okay? And she's circling back. The 9 of Wands, which is read a book with survival elements. And the alternative prompt for this is a double points prompt. Double points for a book that not only matches the card's prompt, but that you either paid full price or got for free or as a gift. So, ooh, book with survival elements. Oh, okay. So I just finished reading the first book in Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I would argue that there are a lot of survival elements in this series because Carl is attempting to survive an apocalyptic game show. And I do not own the second book, but getting it from my library would that count, or does it mean like I actually physically own it? You know what, I'll just go to Barnes & Noble and buy book 2, and it'll most likely be full price. So I'm going to be reading Carl's Doomsday scenario for this prompt. And now my second spread, which starts with the sun. And the prompt for the sun is read a fun or joyful book. Oh, and then as before, I could choose to follow the prompt or pick a book based off of the imagery. So probably for this, I would choose something with wings, gold wings. But I think I'm just going to follow the prompt for this because I have a book off the top of my head that fits the prompt, and that is Go Luck Yourself by Sara Raasch. I have read this before and I absolutely love it. It's very fun. The premise is that each holiday is ruled by a magical royal family, and one of the princes of Christmas is sent to investigate the holiday of St. Patrick's Day after some of the Christmas magic is stolen, and they have reason to believe that St. Patty's Day is behind it. This is a very fun book. I love the humor of Sara Raasch. She's one of my all-time favorite authors. And I was already planning to reread this for an amazing race readathon prompt, which was read a book involving a holiday. And this obviously involves St. Patrick's Day and Christmas, but it's set at St. Patrick's Day. So yeah, I will read this for a fun or joyful book. And the second card of this spread is the Knight of Cups. So for this, the prompt is read a book with a character going through emotional turmoil. And I can switch this with the bottom prompt, which would be the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is read a book set somewhere you've never been. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that fits the emotional turmoil prompt. So I am going to be switching out for this one for the somewhere you've never been. And that still counts as me fulfilling the Knight of Cups and not the Three of Wands, because the Knight of Cups is the one that was in the spread and the prompt was dedicated to. So I can still theoretically pull the Three of Cups again later this month, because I didn't technically fulfill it. I fulfilled the Knight of Cups. But for a book set somewhere you've never been, oh, you know what? I'm going to get up for this because I need to go to my other bookshelf. For this, I am going to read Gearbreakers by Zoe Hana Mikuta. This is set in a apocalyptic setting, where it's very much the classic kaiju versus big-ass mechs piloted by people, and it follows a girl who was... I don't know how to describe this. Let me just read you the description. We went past praying to deities and started to build them instead. The shadow of Godolia's tyrannical rule is spreading, aided by their giant mechanized weapons known as wind-ups. War and oppression are everyday constants for the people of the Badlands, who live under the thumb of their cruel Godolia overlords. Eris Shindani is a gearbreaker, a brash young rebel who specializes in taking down wind-ups from the inside. When one of her missions goes awry and she finds herself in a Godolia prison, Eris meets Sona Steelcrest, a cybernetically enhanced wind-up pilot. At first, Eris sees Sona as her mortal enemy, but she soon discovers Sona has a secret. She has intentionally infiltrated the wind-up pilot program in order to destroy Godolia from within. As the clock ticks closer toward their deadliest mission yet, a direct attack to end Godolia's reign once and for all, Eris and Sona grow closer as well, as comrades, friends, and perhaps something more. So, yeah, I've never been to Godolia or the Badlands. And the final card of this spread is the Seven of Wands, which means that I'm going to be fulfilling the prompt, read a book that features a character who is facing a daunting challenge or adversity. And remind me Right, either paid full price or got for free. I need to think about this one. Daunting challenge or adversity? Daunting challenge or adversity? Oh, oh, it's up here. Oh no. I'm sorry. I forgot that you were up there. For this, I will be reading Fable for the End of the World by Ava Reid. This is kind of like the Hunger Games, but it is where people are set loose in the wild and are being hunted by like cybernetically enhanced soldiers. And our main character is just trying to survive and also falls in love with one of these cybernetically enhanced soldiers. That's my understanding, and I can't wait to read it. I got a special edition of this. I want to say from Illumicrate. I might be wrong. Owlcrate. I got a special edition of this from Owlcrate, and it is absolutely stunning. Yeah. So those are my spreads, and let's look at my single polls now, starting with the Hierophant. So the prompt for the Hierophant is read a book passed down or recommended to you. All right, 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. This is a book recommended to me by one of my IRL friends and my college roommate. This is about I think they're teenagers, but 2 individuals who are hospitalized for the same disease, and because of this disease, they are not meant to get within 5 feet of each other, except they fall in love. So this isn't something that I normally read these days. I've kind of moved a bit past the YA. I still read YA and I still have a really fun time usually, but I don't normally read YA romance anymore. So it'll be interesting to see what I think of this now when I'm a bit older. And the second single poll is the 5 of Pentacles. So that is read a book with mixed reviews. Do I have anything with mixed reviews? See, I don't like pay that much attention to reviews of books to know what has mixed reviews. Let me look it up. Oh, okay. This is a book that I've had my eyes on for a while, so I can try and get it from my library. So for this prompt, I'm going to be reading The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Haig, however you pronounce it. This is about the ability to like jump between different realities, I think. Let me look at the Goodreads synopsis, because I think I've been discovering the last few videos I'm not that good at giving summaries of these books in my own words. I think it might just be better if I start reading the synopses to you guys. All right. The description of this book. When Nora Seed finds herself in the Midnight Library, she has a chance to make things right. Up until now, her life has been full of misery and regret. She feels she has let everyone down, including herself. But things are about to change. The books in the Midnight Library enable Nora to live as if she had done things differently. With the help of an old friend, she can now undo every one of her regrets as she tries to work out her perfect life. But things aren't always what she imagined they'd be, and soon her choices place the library and herself in extreme danger. Before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question. What is the best way to live? I think this is such an interesting premise because obviously everyone has something in life they regret, but what would life be like if you had the ability to change what you regretted? Oh, big jump, Abby. And I think, like, it's such an interesting concept to explore. So I'll be interested to see where I end up falling on the spectrum of these mixed reviews. And my final poll for today is the Ace of Cups. And so this prompt is, read a book that will fill your cup with joy. Might as well do another reread because it's hard to like know exactly what book will fill you with joy if you haven't already read it and loved it, so you know that rereading it will fill you with joy. So I will be reading So This Is Ever After by F.T. Lukens. This is a romance following a hero's quest. The classic prophesied chosen one has won the day, except he accidentally inherited a royal curse by killing the evil king, and now he needs to get married within like a week or he is going to die. And he and his best friend are desperately attempting to spark any kind of romance between the hero and his other party members when the obvious solution is right in front of their faces. This is a very fun book. I absolutely loved it the first time I read it. It's not necessarily something that you read for like the intricate plot or world building. It's something that you read just to have a fun time, in my opinion. And, you know, maybe I will read something that feels heavy during this month. Maybe one of us is lying or 5 feet apart and I'll need a pick-me-up. Or maybe I'll just start slipping into a slump like I did earlier this month and need a pick-me-up. And this is definitely a good option to serve as a pick-me-up. So these are the 9 books I am planning to read for the Tarot Readathon this month. Most likely I will be drawing more cards and picking more books in my vlogs throughout the month, but to start off, these are my plans. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and feel free to tell me what you're going to be reading in June in the comments, or let me know what you think of any of the books that I have added to my TBR. I will see you guys next time.